Hi everyone, welcome back to Info Inspired. Today, I'm going to show you how to use our advanced employee annual leave tracker template in Google Sheets. At Info Inspired, the goal is to simplify your Google Sheets work by providing ready-to-use templates that are modern, dynamic, and practical. We've spent many hours designing and refining these templates, but you get them completely free. There is no need to subscribe, no need to share, and there are no hidden conditions. The only restriction is that you should not submit copies of this template or modified versions of it to any website or online template gallery. One of the standout features of this annual leave tracker is that it works for both the calendar year and the financial year. Using the same template, you can track employee leave from January to December or from April to March, depending on how your company operates. It gives you a complete year-wise leave summary for any selected employee and for any selected year. You can find the download link for this template in the video description below. When you click the link, you may be asked to sign in with your Google account if you're not already signed in. After that, click Make a Copy, and the template will be saved directly to your Google Drive and opened in Google Sheets. If you prefer a text-based explanation, you can also check the related blog post. The link to that article is included in the description as well. Now let's walk through how to use the annual leave tracker template step by step. When you open the template, you'll notice that it contains 5 tabs. These are the Calendar tab, Leave Data, Leave Types, List of Employees, and Holiday List. The Calendar tab is where you'll ultimately view the leave status, summaries, and the visual calendar. But before that, we need to set up the supporting data. First, go to the Holiday List tab. In this sheet, you should enter all your company holidays in column A, starting from cell A2. Each date should be entered as an actual date value, not as text. In column B, you can optionally enter a short description for each holiday, too, such as the holiday name. This description column is not used anywhere else in the template and is purely for your reference. Once you've entered your holiday dates, there's nothing more to do in this sheet. Next, open the List of Employees tab. Here, in column A, starting from cell A2, enter the names of all employees whose leave you want to track. If your organization uses employee codes instead of names, you can enter those codes here instead. The template will treat whatever you enter in column A as the employee identifier. You'll also see columns B and C in this sheet. These columns are optional. You can use them to store additional information such as employee code, department, or date of birth. However, it's important to remember that only the first column is used by the formulas and dropdowns in this template. The remaining columns are for reference only and do not affect the calculations. Now let's move on to the Leave Types tab. In this sheet, you'll see 8 standard leave types already entered. At this stage, do not delete or modify these leave types. These text values are referenced in several formulas and conditional formatting rules. If your company uses different leave types, you can definitely customize them. But it's important to understand how the template works first. We'll come back to customizing leave types later in the video. Next, let's go to the most important sheet in this template, which is the Leave Data tab. This is where you'll record all employee leave entries. In the Leave Data sheet, you'll see columns for employee name, start date, end date, leave type, number of days, and number of days in the current year. The last 2 columns are calculated automatically using formulas, so you should not manually enter anything there. In the employee name column, you'll notice drop-down menus. These drop-downs are automatically populated from the List of Employees tab. Any name or code you entered there will appear in these drop-downs. Similarly, in the Leave Type column, the drop-down values come directly from the Leave Types tab. To record leave, simply select the employee name from the drop-down. Enter the leave start date and end date in the next 2 columns, and then choose the appropriate leave type. That's it. The template will automatically calculate the number of leave days and how many of those days fall within the selected year. This leave data can later be used for other purposes, such as reports or full and final settlements. However, in this template, we primarily use this data to dynamically populate the yearly calendar view for a selected employee. Now, let's move to the Calendar tab. In the Calendar tab, the first thing you need to do is select an employee name from the dropdown. Once you select the employee, you'll need to provide 2 more inputs, the year and the starting month. For example, if you want to view the leave status for the year 2025, enter 2025 in cell C3. Then, in the starting month cell, which is I3, enter 1. This tells the template to display the leave status from January to December 2025. If your company follows a financial year from April to March, enter 4 in cell I3 instead. When you do this, the calendar will display leave data from April 2025 through March 2026. Based on the employee name, year, bear, and starting month you select, the calendar below will refresh automatically. You'll see a summary of leave types and total leave days for the selected employee at the top. At the same time, the corresponding leave days will be highlighted in the calendar grid using matching colors. For instance, if you see that an employee has 3 days of casual leave shown in orange in the summary, you'll also see exactly 3 days highlighted in orange within the calendar grid for that year. This makes it very easy to visually verify leave patterns. If you ever want to double-check the accuracy, you can simply go back to the Leave Data tab and confirm the entries. The calendar is entirely driven by that data. When the starting month is set to January, you'll see leave totals calculated strictly within that calendar year. When you change the starting month to April, the totals adjust automatically to include leave taken in the following year if it falls within the same financial year. This flexibility allows the tracker to adapt perfectly to both calendar year and fiscal year systems. If an employee takes the same type of leave multiple times during the year, the template automatically adds them together and displays the correct totals. You don't need to do any manual calculations. In the calendar grid, weekends and holidays are displayed in white hours, while working days are shown in gray. If you don't have any leave data entered yet, you can still use this template as a working days calendar for the selected year. At the bottom, you'll also see the net working days calculated automatically. Now, let's look at how to customize the leave types, which is an important step if your company uses different terminology. In the leave types sheet, you can replace the existing leave names with your own. Once you do that, you also need to update the corresponding leave type names in the Calendar tab, specifically in the first 2 rows where the leave summaries appear. If you make any changes after entering leave data, you should reselect the updated leave type from the dropdown. So it's best to finalize your leave types before you start entering leave data. After updating the text, click any cell inside the calendar grid. Then go to the Format menu and choose Conditional Formatting. You'll see multiple rules, each associated with a specific color. You can identify which rule belongs to which leave type based on the fill color. Open each rule and update the formula so that it matches the exact leave type text you entered in the leave types sheet. The text must match exactly for the highlighting to work correctly. If you have fewer than 8 leave types, that's perfectly fine. The unused ones can simply be ignored. If you have more than 8 leave types, you'll need to add additional conditional formatting rules. To do that, make sure a cell in the calendar grid is selected. Go to Conditional Formatting, select an existing rule, and click the option to add another rule. This will duplicate the rule. Then update the formula with the new leave type and assign a new fill color. Click Done. The new rule will appear at the bottom of the list. Drag it up so that it sits above the weekend and holiday rules. Then, in cell M4, enter the new leave type name. Copy one of the existing total cells below it, paste it, and change the fill color to match the new conditional formatting rule. You can repeat this process to add as many leave types as you need. Finally, let's see how to change weekends. By default, the template considers Saturday and Sunday as weekends. To change this, click anywhere inside the calendar grid, go to the Format menu, and open Conditional Formatting. Scroll down and open the gray rule at the bottom. In this rule, you'll see weekday numbers defined. In Google Sheets, weekday number 1 represents Sunday, 2 represents Monday, and so on up to 7 for Saturday. If your weekends are Friday and Saturday, you should change these values to 6 and 7. If only Sunday is a weekend, you can remove the second condition. In the Working Days Formula E, weekends are defined using a string pattern. 7 zeros mean all days are working days. Since Saturday and Sunday are weekends by default, the pattern uses 5 zeros followed by 2 ones. The first digit represents Monday, and the last digit represents Sunday. Make sure to update this carefully if you change the weekend structure. I hope you find this advanced annual leave tracker template useful. It's feature-rich, flexible, and completely free to use. If you liked this video, consider subscribing to the channel. You'll find more videos like this, along with Google Sheets tutorials, formulas, and automation ideas. Thanks for watching.